BS-Free Witchcraft is a production of the Nerd and Tie Podcast Network. Nerd and Tie produces podcasts ranging from actual play to true crime, and you can find more at nerdandtie.com or join our Discord by going to nerdandtie.com/Discord. Welcome to BS-Free Witchcraft, your monthly guide to the modern witchcraft movement, minus a lot of the usual, well, bullshit. I'm your host, Trey Dorn. It's June of 2025, and this month we're doing something a little bit different. In the previous episode, we talked about Thorn Mooney's Witches Among Us, which is a very good book. It's a very good source, and it's something I believe that any beginner should be adding to their bookshelf. I think it's a really good book for beginners. It's a really good book for witches to have to help teach their non-witch friends what the hell is going on. And I think for a lot of us, it's a good reminder of kind of the vastness and depth of what's going on in the witchcraft movement that's outside of our own particular corners. But that had me thinking, because the reason why I do an episode like that is because of how hard it is to whittle out the signal to noise ratio, right? There's so much bad information out there that sometimes it's hard to find the good stuff. But people who watch this show or listen to this show or have been following me for a while, we know where to find the good things. But I think that it is important that we remember the kind of garbage that's out there. How can we fight against the nonsense and the noise if we don't look at the nonsense and the noise? So that's what I did. I clicked on every witchcraft ad I could find on Facebook. And it started with just giving me one or two bad, and I've destroyed my algorithm. But I clicked on pretty much every bad Facebook ad I could find. And I gathered a collection of these that I thought would be interesting. And rather than suffer alone, I invited Bree NicGarran, host of Hex Positive and author of Grove Daughter Witchery, to come along on this journey of awful witchcraft sources I found on Facebook. Ads. But before we get started on that, before we really get started, I do have just this little bit of housekeeping, and that is a reminder that July is the show's annual feedback and Q&A episode, where I answer questions sent in by listeners like you. I've been doing this ever since the first year of the show. It is one of my favorite things to do is to get your feedback and get your questions. And the deadline to send your questions in for this year's show is July 11th, 2025. July 11th, 2025. That is your deadline to send in questions, and I need them because it's not much of a show if you guys don't ask me stuff. I anonymize questions. I do not say who asked them. But also, likewise, don't include anything in a question that you're not okay with me reading out loud on the show. And to send those questions, go to bsfreewitchcraft.com/contact. That's bsfreewitchcraft.com/contact. And that'll take you to the contact form. You can send in your questions there. And again, the deadline for that is July 11th. So please send those in, because it's no fun if you don't. Or at least it'll be a short episode if I don't get more. I have a few questions already, but I would like more. I like these to be longer episodes. But putting that aside, here, let's get into the fun weirdness. I will say, if you are an audio listener of the show, I did my best to describe any visuals we put up on screen, but this is an episode that will benefit from watching the video version on YouTube or Spotify. So, just a heads up. But I do describe stuff as best I can. I will not be linking to these products. I'm not going to do it. All right. So Bree is here, and she does not know what we're doing exactly. She has a vague clue, but since last month on the podcast, I looked at what is actually a new, a good beginner resource, right? We looked at something that is now going on to my official list of beginner resources, which is now on bsfreewitchcraft.com. There is now a page for beginners. And right now it's just a bunch of like book links and a link to Hex Positive, but it'll expand. But I thought we would look at some awful beginner resources, and more so with that, it has led me down a rabbit hole. You see, what happened was that I started getting Facebook ads, and then when you start clicking on Facebook ads, you get more Facebook ads that are that kind of Facebook ad. So, Bree.
Yes.
If you're starting out on your Wicca journey, because Bree's a secular witch, Bree's not a Wiccan. So if Bree, though, if you were ready to start your Wiccan journey, would this ad? I'm going to play you an ad, and this is.
Let me just cast myself back to the early 2000s when that was my path for a little while. Let me.
All right, and so I'm gonna
hit me.
This is a video ad.
Oh God.
Which that I ran across. I didn't know which one I picked. I actually saved 4 of these, and so I don't remember which video I just selected. Audio listeners, what I have pulled up on screen is a ad for Wicca Academy, which unlock your true Wiccan potential. And do you need guidance on your Wiccan journey? We're here to help. At the Wicca Academy, we have over 13 hours of expert guidance from a real instructor. You'll discover how to harness the power you've always felt inside you. You'll join a community that understands you better than anyone and chat with a welcoming group of like-minded individuals. And you'll learn how to perform advanced spells that work, all capital work. But be careful to give our students the best possible. That's where the ad cut off on the text, because they're very good at this. But so they've got a video. I'm going to play the video. Audio listeners will, of course, hear the audio, but video. This is an episode where you probably will get the most out of the video versions on YouTube and Spotify. So, that's just letting you know. But I'm going to hit play now. Bree, are you ready to learn about Wicca Academy?
Oh boy, I am so jazzed. Let's do this.
Have you ever felt like you don't belong? Like you're searching for something more, but can't seem to find your place? You've tried to learn on your own, countless books, endless websites, but the deeper you dive, the more lost and overwhelmed you feel.
It's a very overwhelmed looking woman.
There's a place where you do belong. A place where you can finally connect with your inner magic, gain clarity, and be part of a supportive community that feels like home? That's exactly what Wicca Academy was created for.
This feels like an ITT Tech ad.
Wicca Academy, a transformative online experience designed to help you embrace your path with confidence. Whether you're just starting your Wiccan journey or deepening your practice, Wicca Academy offers expert-led courses, engaging materials, and a thriving community to guide you every step of the way.
And stock footage.
Imagine waking up every
All
day
the stock
feeling
footage.
Connected to your intuition, empowered to create the life you've always dreamed of, and knowing you have the tools to
this is all
bring
stock
your
footage,
magic
by the way,
to life.
for people that...
With Wicca Academy, you're not just learning, you're transforming.
At my lowest point, I felt completely lost. I was overwhelmed by negativity and didn't know.
And now we're getting to testimonials.
I found Wicca Academy.
I'm betting these are all actors from Fiverr. I'm not kidding.
The courses guided me to trust myself again.
These have got. I bet you these are actors from Fiverr. I mean, maybe they're real. Maybe I don't want to defame anyone here, but
truly accepts me. I highly recommend Wicca Academy to anyone seeking
these feel like actors from Fiverr.
My life, and it can change yours too.
Yes.
For years,
it feels like the people who do the digital game ads that are definitely a scam. Get real cash with this bingo game through PayPal. It's giving that, but if Silver Ravenwolf started a cult.
Yeah, and those ads all use people from Fiverr when they have testimonials. Yeah.
A positive, supportive space for growth.
For those of you who don't know, Fiverr is a place where you can hire people to do things for very little money.
Life-changing experience. I finally feel at home, and I'm so grateful for this.
She's grateful for the journey.
And now, for a limited time, we're offering something truly special.
The ad keeps going.
Access to Wicca Academy. With this one-time payment, you'll unlock
lifetime access for their 13 hours of content.
Every course, every resource, and every future update. Forever. No monthly fees, no recurring payments. Just the complete freedom to explore your path.
Just say how much it is. How much is it?
I love this is your chance to stop searching and start
and you get a certificate.
Join the thousands of others who've already embraced
Learn auto repair
and
at
discover
Wicca
the place
Academy.
where they truly belong.
It really is giving
the
IT
link
tech.
To claim your lifetime access to Wicca Academy today.
Now, I like they
Don't
put the
wait,
countdown
your
timer,
journey
and we'll talk about the second the countdown timer, but it's in a
Blessed
video.
be.
Blessed be, fuck you.
Wow,
So,
that was like half discount college ad, half hiring firm, and like a generous sprinkling of join our cult.
All right, so this is so I've brought up the WiccaAcademy.com. Don't pay attention to how many tabs I have open. Welcome to WiccaAcademy.com. So we game was the feeling of belonging and inner purpose, healing and inner like we've talked about like culty groups that like people pay for on the show before. I've done that like, but this is like so weirdly commercial. Become the witch you were born to be. Is of course reading straight here off the webpage. We have, and we could play those same. I'm not going to play the testimonials, even though there is a third one that we can see. Because they all hired the same actresses on Fiverr. So access all courses for $39 a month.
For 13 hours of content.
$39 a month.
Oh my god.
It might be more than 13 hours, but get instant access to our entire library of expert-led courses designed to help you grow, upskill, and succeed, all for one low monthly price of $39 a month. Of course, now, as we go down on this website, we've got some testimonials, which you can totally trust because a website selling itself would, of course, have the most honest testimonials on its cherry-picked... Like, folks, just as a consumer in general, don't trust reviews on a privately owned website. Like, when people review stuff on Amazon, we have enough problems with, like, paid reviews on Amazon, right? But, like, with reviews on Amazon is a third-party thing. Like, Amazon just wants to sell you stuff. They don't care which stuff you buy. So they're okay posting negative reviews that are, like, real. But these people, these could be real people. I don't know. I didn't reverse image search any of the photos that they have there, but I wouldn't trust it. Because even if they are real, they would only post the nice ones.
Mm-hmm.
Although there is a technique where people, but I'll get to that on one of the later things we're going to look at. We've got our students' favorite courses, Wicca 101. We've got basic magic and advanced spells, and they have a class on spirits and familiars. They've got a bunch of articles, and we'll get into that. But if you go into this, God, I wish I forget where I found it. So.
Earn Wicca degrees. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
The lifetime thing. Oh my god.
So lifetime is $333. I think they saw that like Nebula has lifetime plans. We're like, oh, we could do that.
Nebula. Oh my god.
I love Nebula. I subscribe to Nebula, but that's like I want to watch video essays, not.
I know. I just.
And
Nebula
mustard,
drives so many of the fake witch ads that I keep seeing pop up in the Tumblr tags. It's like, what kind? Take this quiz to find out.
Oh, that's a different Nebula. That's a different Nebula.
Is in your blood. Oh, that's a different one.
That's a different Nebula.
Okay.
I was referencing the streaming service, which like a bunch of.
Okay.
No, okay. Different thing.
Gotcha. Okay,
different
so
Nebula.
There's a good Nebula and a bad Nebula.
Yeah, there's way too many things called Nebula. It was a bad choice for a streaming service name.
But yeah, I'm looking at this, and they're already on like strike 5 for me.
So Wicca Academy are degrees. So poking through this website, this is the most hilarious conflation of terms I have ever seen in my life. So what are our degrees? What are degrees in Wicca? Degrees are a thing in Gardnerian Wicca, where you get first degree, second degree, third. Like, that is a thing in British traditional Wicca for like the levels in like the coven structure. Like, that is a thing, right? We don't talk about it that much because, you know, we don't talk too much about British traditional Wicca on the show, because my policy is always, if you want to learn about British traditional Wicca, just go find a British traditional Wiccan, because like, just ask them.
Oh yeah,
because that's it's all orthopraxic, but they're like conflating it with, as I bring up on screen here, the image of a certificate for the Wicca Academy, their first degree Wiccan certificate. They're treating it like academic degrees.
Yes.
And so for the first degree, like for the first 3 courses in Wicca Academy syllabus, for a mixture of everything you need to know to get started in Wicca. First, you'll learn the basic symbolism of different magical signs, like the pentagram, the triple moon, and many others. On top of that, you'll learn about the magical properties of different herbs and crystals. You know, crystals and herbs, a core part of the orthopraxic tradition of Wicca. Like, don't get me wrong. Crystals and herbs, a lot of Wiccans use them. That's not like...
It's not core
It's not a Wiccan thing. That is a...
It's just a witchcraft thing.
Yeah. Like, that's not... You don't need to... Folks, if you don't know anything about Wicca, you could practice Wicca without knowing shit about herbs and crystals. Gerald Gardner did not give a shit about herbs and crystals. He just didn't. That's not his bag. All right, so... next
he was all about high magic rituals and not wearing pants.
Yeah. Next, you'll transition to the second course. It's all about the Wiccan holidays. Okay, actually, fine. Like, okay, the Wheel of the Year.
See, that actually, yes.
Yeah, Wheel of the Year. Great. Yeah, that's part of the bag. There will provide a different view of each festival of the Wheel of the Year, teaching you the best times to perform certain types of spells. Lastly, before you become a first-degree Wiccan, because, again, we're conflating terms here, you'll work on opening your mind to psychic visions through dream interpretation. All right, yeah, Gerald Gardner probably would have fucked with that. Okay, fine. I mean, it's not really core to Wicca, but, like, at least we're in the land of shit. Then second-degree... Like, I could go through all of these, but, like, they're talking about color symbolism in their second-degree stuff, and tarot, which, again...
That's not... Oh boy.
And then we move on to like third degree, where we end up talking about astrology and zodiac chart placements. And so, okay. And now you might be saying to yourself, what's the quality of education I will find on this service? Now, the great news is that they've got some free articles. We don't have to pay money to find out the quality of writing on their stuff.
Are they written by an actual person?
Well, that's a great question. First off, let's find out, what type of witch are you?
Oh, goody. I love a magazine quiz.
No, it's just a list, and we've got some really fun definitions here. Are you an augury witch, where witches who focus on foretelling future events? All right, like, I don't know if I necessarily agree with all the definitions, but that's the first one. Then the second one is, are you a baby witch?
It's...
Folks, if you are new to this, if you are unfamiliar with a term that was really just popular like a decade ago, but I don't even actually hear people saying that much anymore, baby witch just means you're new. It just means you're new. That's not a type of witch. That's like I'm ceremonial witch. Also, there's, for people watching, if not watching the video, there are hilarious stock photos to go with all of these. Are you a ceremonial witch? And this feels probably a little racist. What's on screen? But this is people who, do high magic. In essence, they often turn to various occult teachings such as Enochian magic, Kabbalah, and Thelema. I'm like, okay, great, fuck you.
No.
Yeah. We got cosmic, like, and then scroll down. Like, I'm scrolling down stuff. Cosmic, with that eclectic witch. Eclectic witch is like to use magical beliefs and practice from different areas, while some of them identify as neo-Wiccan. Fuck you. So this is conflating the term witch and
Wicca.
Wicca, right? First off, this whole thing is conflating witch and Wicca, sort of, because we've just been talking about types of witch, but eclectic Wicca. So eclectic Wicca is the preferred term for those for the form of Wicca that really became prominent in the 90s. That is the kind of Wiccan that I am. Neo-Wiccan was a term that someone tried to popularize for about like a 10-year period, like in the 2000s, to separate things. That a lot of us rejected, because when considering eclectic Wicca has been the dominant form of witchcraft in Wicca for the majority of Wicca's history, it's a little fucking weird to call it neo-Wicca. And also it's like this whole like minimizing, like no, we're eclectic. We already had a fucking word the first time someone came up with that too. So it's like, no, we had a differentiating word. There's British traditional Wiccans, there's eclectic Wiccans, and there's like maybe some like there's weird shit in between, but yeah, but then evil witch.
Excuse me.
So our types of witches so far, we've had augury witch, which is a kind of classification by part of it, but baby witch, ceremonial witch, cosmic witch, which I skipped over, but eclectic witch, and then evil witch.
So we're bringing morality into it now.
And also every once in a while, as you scroll down, this try to sign up for our mailing list pop-up shows up on screen whenever you're on this site. I'll click that. Then hedge/green witch.
Wrong.
Yeah, which
They're
are
not the same thing.
often celebrated with no, although many have a Wiccan background. Some only choose to worship, so we're not even then hereditary witch. First off, if you're you don't get to choose what kind of witch you are if you're a hereditary witch, because by definition you either are one or aren't one, right? And then we're getting to kitchen witch, secular witch. Let's see what do they I actually haven't read this.
What do they actually define that as? Because they've gotten everything else wrong so far.
Secular witches are well-rounded in their beliefs. Well, that's not true. I mean, some are, but that's like saying, that's like saying fans of the Green Bay Packers have a healthy emotional life. That is true for for some of those. You could find one that's true, but you could find ones who ain't. They do not worship any higher being or deity, and their practice is void of religion. Well, okay, their practice is discarded for religion, but there are plenty of secular witches who also worship deities separately from their witchcraft. So, like, what the fuck? That said, secular witches use crystals, candles, herbs, oils, and similar items in their rituals. You're using all of it. You have to now.
Just like every other witch.
They also cast spells and endorse magic through their lifestyle choices. Now, I'm from the 90s, and if I remember what lifestyle choices is supposed to mean, that's supposed to mean who you're fucking.
So secular witches are all queer. Got it. Okay.
No. In that sense, there's not much.
In my case, that tracks.
Actually, yeah. That's, I'm sure I don't interrogate everyone I follow on Tumblr's sexuality, and if they've never talked about it, I don't know. So but I'm realizing I have been assuming that everyone is queer, and that I might be wrong on some of these people who have just never talked about that part of their life. Wow.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's not true for everyone, but I mean, the Venn diagram for the queer community and the witchcraft community is almost a circle, depending on who you talk to.
Hey, I know plenty of queer people who aren't witches.
Oh, yeah, and I know plenty of witches who aren't
I know
queer,
plenty of boring-ass queer people. However,
there has to be some. There have to be some to balance out, yeah, there has to be a sliding scale.
Oh, wait, I have to get to the best part here. Oh. However, what is interesting, and this is their quote, what is interesting about secular witches do not believe in the power of energy. In fact, they do not think that it is present in their work, but while the approach is not spiritual, it does not mean sexual. They don't believe in energy. Not the
wow.
Of any kind. They don't even believe in electricity, I don't think. They don't think electricity is real. Because that would be religious.
Okay, so, question? If they don't believe in, or I should say if we don't believe in...
I would say, you're a secular witch. What's it like not believing...
spirits, what are we using to power our magic? Are we just like throwing shit in a bowl, setting it on fire, and hoping for the best? Hey, of course we believe in energy. What the fuck?
I know secular witches who don't believe in transcendental magic and all that shit, but that's fine. But it's the blanket statement of it. It's not that I'm sure that there are secular witches who don't believe in energy the way that a lot of us define energy. Yeah, that's fine. It's a shit ton probably, but
But just to say, across the board, we don't believe in energy, and that it doesn't play a part in our magic. I'm like, bullshit.
And then our next category here is solitary witch, because we know that's a separate thing from all the other stuff on this list. Then we get finally traditional folk witches is the last one.
God.
I'm not going to bother reading that because it's not true. And also, what are we calling traditional witchcraft? Because there's more than one thing called traditional witchcraft. Yeah. Including stuff that's not any older than Wicca. But people don't want to hear that. But
yeah, okay, so the traditional practitioner, I'm guessing, is going to give the trad wife vibes, because everything else here is giving TikTok influencer and come join us because we're the only ones who understand you. So yeah, I'm guessing it's going to lean heavily into gender at some point.
All right. So now you might be saying to yourself, these people are Wicca Academy. They're not Witchcraft Academy. Maybe they just don't really know about stuff that's not Wicca, right? Maybe this Wicca Academy, maybe this beginner resource really is good for learning about Wicca. So I've pulled up their article, which is What is Wicca?
Oh, this ought to be good.
Now, to be fair, I read most of it, and it is overall it's not great, but it's not completely wrong. It's not egregious. Okay. There's a couple of things on their list of the 8 Wiccan Sabbats, the Wheel of the Year holidays. They do list things like the equinox to solstices as the 20th/21st, which is not. Those holidays move with it's not even those dates most years for most of those things.
Anywhere between the 19th and the 23rd.
Yeah, depending on yeah. But overall, those aren't bad definitions. I don't know who they stole them from, but you were getting down to ethical rules, and they say threefold shit, and so we get down to about death, and in Wicca, reincarnation is the preferred belief regarding what happens after death. There's no ascribed afterlife in there's no formal orthodoxic afterlife in Wicca. I don't my policy on the afterlife is I'll find out when I get there. But so this person read a trendy article in the 90s where somebody said that because reincarnation was really popular among Wiccans in the 90s. We get through the origins.
The origins. Oh, this ought to be good.
Wiccan's origins trace back to so we get a little fuzzy here, which feels like we got a bit of telephone here. It's not as bad as it could be, where they say Wicca's origins trace back to pre-Christian religious practices. However, modern Wiccans primarily draw inspiration from the Gardnerian Book of Shadows. We're almost getting there, and we do say who Gerald Gardner is. It's not a great thing, and but this is my favorite part of this page.
Ooh,
spoiler,
okay.
I've read ahead. So later developments after we get to they're talking about the expansion outside of British traditional Wicca. It's not good. It's not a great version of this history. But you're better off reading Wikipedia than this. I'm not even sure these people read Wikipedia.
Is this the part where we get to go through with just a big red Sharpie?
But this is my favorite part, and I people who are on the Nerd and Tie Discord saw and who follow me on Tumblr and a couple of places saw I screenshotted part of this article and shared this because so later developments, and I'm not scrolling down for video viewers yet until for a reason. The movement expanded to include several variants of Gardner's original teachings. Dianic Wiccans, founded by Alexander Sanders, Their most prominent belief is that Wicca is a women's religion. Yes, Alex Sanders, famous founder of famous woman, famous second wave feminist Alexander Sanders. Folks, if you don't understand, if you are listening to me and you don't know what's happening, Dianic Wicca was founded by Zuzana Budapest, who is a fucking TERF.
Yes.
All right.
And
fuck her. To conflate and also, if you don't know who Alex Sanders is, like how all those kids on TikTok talk shit about Gerald Gardner without knowing anything about him. All the negative stuff they say about Gerald Gardner is not actually stuff Gerald Gardner did, but it probably is stuff Alex Sanders did. Alex Sanders, the person who said Alexandrian Wicca and Book of Shadows was ancient and had been passed down to him, but it included poems written that were plagiarized from Doreen Valiente. So, let's just keep that in mind. So that's our first thing. So first thing we've done here is conflate Alex Sanders, the man who wouldn't put on fucking pants and creeped everyone out, with not everyone, but Alex Sanders is a complex figure. I am simplifying and being a dick because it's fun to be mean to Alex Sanders, but conflating him with Z Budapest.
Wow. And also, wouldn't that mean he would get kicked out of his own club?
Well, no shit. I'm just
make it make sense.
It's just going down to and then the next line, neo-pagans are a parallel group worships goddess and practices magic but avoids the label witch. I didn't realize well, folks, if you don't know the history of neo-paganism, Wicca is considered a neo-pagan religion. The neo-pagan movement, one of the largest parts of it, just like the modern witchcraft movement and neo-pagan movement are not complete overlaps, but in the Venn diagram, Wicca sits in the middle. It is both. It is both of those things. So
they did not bother to read Wikipedia at all. I'm wondering if they bothered to read anything.
I'm betting this is ChatGPT. I'm betting this is ChatGPT making a fuck up.
I'm beginning to wonder.
Yeah. So, and ChatGPT has gotten better than this in the current version. Don't use ChatGPT, okay?
Never use it, ever, for anything.
What I have ever used it for is I will quiz it about people I know personally and get it to give me wrong answers.
That's funny.
It said some really interesting things about my wife.
Oh. So mean.
No, it apparently my wife shoots a lot. So because I'm really I'm considered a public enough figure for stuff to come up on ChatGPT about me. I've had a blog online though since 2001, and so it can actually get really weird details about my life. But my wife is very private and doesn't put a lot of details about herself online. But it conflated my wife with some other woman who has her first name and started giving details about this random woman who is married to the owner of a gun club. So it started posting personal quotes about all the shooting she does. I'm like, wow, honey, I didn't realize that you were a competitive shooter. No, it's not even that the woman had the same first name as my wife. She didn't. It's that her husband had my first name.
Oh, jeez.
And it was
Which just goes to show how reliable ChatGPT is. Yeah. It isn't.
Right. But so that's my guess on, so don't use it.
Ever.
Because it's a theft machine.
It is.
All right. I pulled up more articles. I pulled up more articles on here, but we're not going to go through them. The goddesses and gods love you and want you to be happy.
Oh boy.
Oh, spoken by someone who's never worked with the deity.
Ever. Yeah, this is
fight a god, folks.
We are getting tiptoeing further into the cult stuff, just bit by bit, and that was just a sharp. Oh, yeah. Boy, here we go. We're the only ones who understand you. We'll understand you better than anyone. Group of like-minded individuals.
Yeah.
Life satisfaction. Unlock your true potential. The gods love you, and so do we. Oh, God.
Yeah. So also, then we get to just one last article. We're not going to read this, but it's their article on the threefold law, which it's a Wiccan academy. A lot of Wiccans follow the threefold law. It comes from, a subsection of Wicca. That's fine. But the origins, the first part of the origin is, though the exact origins are debated. Fuck you.
Bullshit.
We know it's from High Magic's Aid. We know it's from, so it's debated, so I had always heard a tribute to Monique Wilson as having built it, but, the thing out of it, but I've seen some other origins that are also more documented and plausible than that, so, while sources I had said Monique Wilson, I maybe have been wrong about the exact human Wiccan who made up the goddamn thing. But we know that it came into High Magic's Aid and then got referenced in Gwen Thompson's poem, and then and that's where it snowballed from.
Popularized by Buckland. Blah blah.
Yeah. All right. So
the origins are not murky. They are slightly fuzzy. They are not murky or by any means.
Yeah. So, all right. So, now we've gone to our Wiccan Academy. We don't like the Wiccan Academy. All right. So,
no, we do not.
Most places always recommend you start out with books, right? Books. Oh, no. So, I of course started getting ads on Facebook for Wiccan books or witchcraft books here. All right. So, I'm going to show you a video that I saved the video. I didn't bookmark the location of the ad for this one. I have the website up, but I'm going to show you a video ad that I got. Now, I want to start out, before I hit play on this, please note, because it's got the cover of the book, the all-in-one complete Book of Shadow. Book of Shadow. Now,
Singular,
and I want
just one.
Yeah, apparently so. Now, if you go to we go to the website and we list the rest of that, it's going to call it Book of Shadows, and the cover on the website has it with the S at the end. But that's the level of care we're taking, where they printed their prototype with the name of the book spelled differently. So let's watch this video. So folks at home, you will hear this, and you're not going to miss much by not seeing the visuals, other than they're going to flip through the interior of the book. But mostly this is the audio, where they've paid a lot for this narrator. You can clearly tell. Trey said sarcastically, because it's an AI voice.
Are you feeling overwhelmed on your witchcraft journey? I was too, until I discovered the all-in-one complete Book of Shadows. This comprehensive guide demystifies the basics and provides the structure needed to practice confidently. With over 130 thoughtfully designed pages, it covers essential topics like Witchcraft 101, the 8 Sabbaths, the 4 elements, moon magic, sigils, crystals, herbs, and more. Each chapter offers clear, step-by-step instructions, making it simple to follow and personalize your practice. This book has become my go-to resource, transforming my practice from uncertain to powerful and effective. If you're ready to master witchcraft with clarity and confidence, this is the guide you need. It's 40% off with fast shipping. Don't wait. Grab yours now.
So,
I have some questions about what
Witchcraft 101.
Oh God.
You can be
okay.
Confident.
God. Oh boy. So why
it really helped that computer voice.
Why does it have a bunch of random animals and Futhark runes? I have questions. Questions.
All right, yeah, it's so let's take a look at the name of the website.
Also,
this goes
to 4 elements. Oh boy. I thought in a lot of things there were 5, but okay.
Well, you gotta. Is spirit really an element, or is it part of everything?
Or is it ether, or is it energy? But still, it's
is it a signed autograph photograph of Steve Buscemi? Man, I don't know. All right, so this goes to witchwish.com. So witchwish.com, first off, is credited to expert witch and author Sarah F.
Uh-huh.
Now, look. In the witchcraft world, we often use craft names and nom de plumes for stuff, Bree does. Bree NicGarran is not Bree's real name, and even I don't know Bree's real name, so shh.
Hard to find.
But also Thorn Mooney is not legally named Thorn Mooney, right? Thumper Forge is not legally named Thumper Forge. You go back through Witchcraft, it's the use of but usually you try to you wouldn't be Sarah F. period. That is a strange name for a witchcraft author to use, but
especially when claiming to be an expert.
Yeah. And I did reverse image search the photograph they have for her, and I did not find it on the web. That could be something. It could be the real person's photograph. It could be stolen off of Instagram and just not indexed by a search engine, or it could be AI generated. I can't tell. You can, with things like Sora, generate fake selfies that are indistinguishable from real people. It even gets hands right now. So
it's terrifying.
Oh yeah, no. I play with things so I understand things, and if you ask it for a selfie and then give it a description, you will get a photograph that is hands look right. It's the AI jank now is just on the videos.
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah. You can make a janky image. You can still do that, but if you give yourself 10 minutes, you can make a bunch of realistic photographs, and you can make variations so you can keep the same face. So don't trust anybody on the internet. But anyways, that's the AI side. So I don't know. That's so we got it's first off, we start at the top, limited stock available. Grab yours before it's gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's marketing 101 at least. So
yeah. We are
101 correct.
Here, actually, I'm going to reload the page. Make sure there's no pop-ups that I cleared here. All right, good. Okay. So we've got low resolution captures of the book. Apparently over 13,831 plus women around the world, so just women. Mm-hmm. Are using this, although they used a masculine voice for the AI voice. It you apparently can, so hey, maybe just the number would be higher if we included the men and non-binary people. But women around the world are using this complete book of shadows to master witchcraft practices, enhance their spell work, and create personalized rituals that bring real results. So they have reviews on here. Here's all the stuff that's in this all-in-one complete Book of Shadows Grimoire edition.
And it was how many pages? 100 and some?
Yeah,
it was below 200.
These are the chapters. Yeah, and also there's a bunch of blank pages at the end because it's supposed to be used as a journal afterwards. I don't know how well it's gonna. Well, I mean, the cover looks fine, but who knows where that cover image came from?
Oh, I've seen that on Redbubble.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a stock. I'm sure it's a stock image.
Yeah, or stolen from somebody's.
Stolen or stock. It's anything in here is likely the layout is, and don't get me wrong, this doesn't look terrible, but I want to, but it's for real Wicca focused here. We got the Sabbats, but then the 4 elements, so spirit.
Okay, I mean, that's okay. So
hi, I'm Sarah. Now we've got the personal testimony. Now here's the thing. If you aren't used to looking at scam sites, they always try to give you a personal story, but almost every single time they're made up. You will find people selling stuff that they just mass bought on Alibaba and then have the inventor talk, and you'll find the same product on 10 different pages with 10 different inventor stories. So I am not overtly saying that this is a lie. I can't say that confidently with 100%, but I can say that my experience of looking at websites that look like this, that bullshit
with your chest.
Yeah. And so again, we get the reviews, because we can always trust reviews that have been handpicked on a static web page. This stuff.
Let me guess, they don't have a link to their full review page anywhere.
No, Well, but here's the real secret. There's nowhere to leave a review on this page, and we have like screenshots of like text messages. We've got like, and it's all of these like I have been scrolling forever, and I'm not even halfway down this page. But here's the thing. This is the thing. You know what happens if you search for this book on a bookseller's website?
What?
It's not there.
Shocking.
You can't find an ISBN. You can't find anything. Like, oh my God, I'm still scrolling through this page. And again, their book, you can buy this for $35, but it's okay. It's marked down from $116.
What the? And
it's never been. It's never
bestseller.
Bestseller where? Like,
jeez.
1,000 people bought this last week, and over 20 people have this in their cart right now. But supplies are limited. That doesn't sound very limited. Look, let me tell you something here. Like, number one selling the best, this does not go anywhere. None of this goes anywhere. This is just the same shit all the time.
Jeez. Oh, and they offer bundles so you can upgrade.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Like, Jesus fucking Christ. All right, so as we go down, like, I don't know why I invoked that deity as my thing, but it's fun to swear at.
Trey is so frustrated they're invoking deities.
I did that when I was watching the Pagan Invasion last month on one of my Patreon exclusive videos.
Which was hysterical.
But anyways, yeah, Sarah F., there is no author page. So here's the thing. Bree and I both self-publish, right? Like, you can find books at nerdandtie.com/books. Like, there's a whole section on the website about authors who do stuff for Nerd and Tie. Bree publishes witchcraft books. I publish fiction, right? But so we're both very familiar with publishing outside of the publishing industry, like out of the mainstream publishing industry. And let me tell you, if your book does not have an ISBN, it ain't fucking real. I mean, this book is real. Like, someone printed this out and you will get shipped something. Probably, maybe. Like, I don't know how much of a scam this website is. I can't find, I haven't found any proof of anyone actually receiving this book on the internet, but this ad also might be new. Like Wicca Academy's been around for apparently years, according to their website. But this could be
more
new.
Than one.
Yeah. But this is this could be a new book, right? And so with websites like this, I give you about a 50-50 chance about whether or not it's a scam, about whether you'll get a product shipped.
Oh yeah.
Right. And I don't know about the print quality here, but here's the thing: the barrier to entry on self-publishing in the modern world. The problem is the marketing, not the actual getting the books published. You can get your book out and into major, like, if you publish, especially if you publish through something like Ingram Spark, you can get your book available on real store bookshelves. But the problem is just marketing, right? Like, bookstores aren't going to stock it unless people request it. And so marketing's the expensive part. These people are doing all the marketing, but haven't done the easy part, which is get it in ISBN, get it distributed through for bookstores. So the only way to buy this book is through this website,
which makes no sense. At the very least, you want to get it on Amazon.
That tells me that there are reasons they're afraid to put it on Amazon, like stolen content,
terrible content, and probably not a real book.
Now, and there are problems with I mean, they page through the thing, so they have things printed in a physical book somewhere.
At least one copy.
There's at least one copy. The and at least one copy has a bad cover because it misspells the thing. By the way, Book of Shadows is a term that was invented for Wicca. Jared Gardner came up with the term Book of Shadows. So if you ever Book of Shadows is a term that comes from Wicca. Just keep that in mind. But here's the thing. This is just a standard rule. So there is a problem in even on legitimate websites, like you go to Amazon and you find like things with ISBNs, there's a bunch of AI slop and plagiarized work being sold out there right now. And it's always under fake author names. So the first thing you want to do whenever you're looking up a witchcraft author or any kind of author is try to find a social media presence. Try to find a real human being behind it, because anyone who's actually doing this stuff is trying to promote. But you're not going to find shit for Sarah F.
Nope.
Sarah F's not real. There is no Sarah F. as far as I can tell. There's no links on this website to an author's social media, because I will tell you, any self-published author worth their shit is trying to promote their shit. There's a reason why. Here, find a website associated with me. bsfreewitchcraft.com, traydorn.com. You know what you find out all over their fucking place? My fucking social media. Because I want you to follow me. I want readers to buy my stuff, and they don't know about my stuff if they don't listen, if they don't know that I'm doing stuff. Like when my next novel comes out, I want people to pre-order it. People don't know to pre-order it if they are following me in some way to find out to pre-order it.
Yes. And also go buy the other 3 because they're really good.
Yes. Yes, obviously buy my books, but that's not the point. Those aren't witchcraft books. Yes, those are fiction. So that's not the only book I got advertised to. This was the funnier one. The other one, I did not save the ad, but I did get this for this book by someone named Anderson the Scald. Now, I do know the people who have bought this book get their book, because this one's been out for several years. This has been out for several years. This is a real thing. You buy this, you will get this book.
Right. So it's a step up from the other one.
But it's I can't find anything about Anderson the Scald. These books aren't available. They don't have ISBNs. They're only available through their website. But it's a book on pagan holidays.
Hey, which pagan? Which kind of pagan?
I'm just going to read you the first sentence. This is the only reason why I shared it. Is not because I don't think this is a scam. I just think it's bad. Pagan Holidays provides you with the perfect overview of the 8 festival days of the Viking, Celtic, and Germanic peoples. And it's a big Wheel of the Year picture. It's literally a Wheel of the Year picture on the front of this book. So don't buy that. It's just not good. It's not offensive, but it's just not good.
So much conflation. So much.
And so it
hurts.
This is the kind of stuff you find. So if you're a beginner starting out trying to get into witchcraft stuff, these are the ads you're going to see. These are the things you're going to get. And I feel really bad for people getting into this. But
so this is something that comes up on my feeds a lot as well. It's newer witches talk about the information overwhelm, and I'm very much I'm with you on that. There is a lot to learn about witchcraft. There's a lot to learn about the different traditions and the religious and spiritual paths that you have open to you. And knowing where to go for good information was hard enough to begin with, but now you're getting hit with stuff that is clearly scams, that is AI generated, and it's going to hit you in your media feeds. It's bad enough that we have so much just utter bullshit in the tags on where they're hanging.
I'm sorry, Bree. You are cutting out there. I think your computer fan is fooling Discord into.
Anyway, I'm mad because newer witches have it hard with trying to figure shit out without adding.
Bree, I lost about half of your audio there. Yeah, so no, it is true. We're getting a bunch. It's so hard to know where to start. That's why I don't know. Last month I added Thorn Mooney's Witches Among Us is such a good book for people just trying to find their footing, and it's to figure out where to fucking start, because I'm swearing a lot this episode. It's okay.
It's your show.
There's obscenity in the name of the series. The name of the podcast. Yeah, it's so like, but okay. So we've tried books. Let's go back to courses. Because I got an ad here for, so Saged is an app and website. And I got an ad for your Heal Your Witch Wound 7-day course to reclaim your magic. Heal your witch. I don't want to go into witch wounds and what that means, but like, you weren't born weak. Your ancestors' power. This is real. This is giving real. Daughter of the witches they couldn't burn. But so let's go to Heal Your Witch Wound. Now it's not. This course is not super expensive. It's $44, marked down from $71.
Oh, lovely.
And so Heal Your Witch Wound is a 7-day journey to break the cycle of, did you feel yourself hiding your magic, your voice, or your truth to feel safe? That's not random. It's the witch wound.
Okay, could be a whole lot of other stuff.
Does society make you feel small? It's because you're special. This doesn't sound like a creepy recruitment tactic. Generations of women learned that being too much meant danger again because all witches are women, according to these ads. Fuck you. They didn't burn witches. They burnt women who were too powerful. Well, I mean, they didn't burn witches in most places. In a lot of places, like, we hanged witches here. Speaking up meant punishment. So we shrunk, we softened, we silenced. Like, okay, like, does the patriarchal society we exist in push women down, teach them to be quiet? Yes, absolutely. And doesn't have fucking anything to do with witchcraft.
Yeah, has nothing to do with being a witch.
Look. That
was an excuse.
Did historical witch trials target women more than men due to patriarchy and misogyny? Yes. Yes. They also targeted Jewish people more because of anti-Semitism. And like, there's like so many fucking layers.
And also, if you look at certain trials that happened, especially in places like Germany, the Bamberg witch trials, for instance, they didn't care who they were accusing because it was a money grab.
Well, yes.
And their people did get burned. So
yeah. But it's but you'll get daily activations, guided rituals to clear inherited fear, reflection journal prompts, and instant digital access. But then it's like, but the emoji they use for instant digital access is a flame emoji. Is that instant digital access to fire? Because our ancestors were burned alive, are we getting fire powers digitally?
Oh boy, it's a digital download. Oh, it's a different kind of download.
Oh yeah. Now, of course, reviews on their private website, which we totally believe. But it's okay. They accept Apple Pay. But of course, they also have their Way of the Witch coven at Saged, where you can sign up for a 3-month commitment to join their coven, because nothing says authentic coven like paying for it. I mean, to be fair, what they seem to be defining as coven is what many of us would define as like a circle or a study circle. And like,
the coven sounds so much more official.
I know, but it's okay. So like, what if I can't make it live? It's okay. You can save the recordings of the classes. That
is a good thing. I mean, the Critical Thinking Witch Collective, we do that all the time, but we do, like, we make the joke that we're the coven of common sense, but also, like, we're not telling people that they wholesale need to join us and like take vows and crap. It's like, no, you can just be here for the stuff.
But it's it's a 3-month coven now. Like, Way of the Witch is a 3-month commitment. You can pay in full for the 3 months or choose the payment plan of $111 a month.
God. And also, when you come to Crit Witch Con stuff, it is way less expensive for that.
Yes. Crit Witch.
Because we're not trying to scam people.
No.
Jeez. That's egregious.
Yeah,
$100 a month. Who the hell has that? Okay, now it's giving like, sweat lodge retreats type nonsense where it's like, oh, we'll just bleed you dry if you have money and feel, disenfranchised. So
it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. So we don't want so we've gotten through, like, we've healed our witch wound, we've learned about Wicca, we've bought some books.
Jeez.
Now let's try to get more specific with herbalism. We're going to join the Lost Skills Academy.
Oh no.
We're going to become a certified herbalist from the Lost Remedies Academy. So the page is called Lost Skills Academy, but then the thing is for Lost Remedies Academy. But we're going to get our diploma in herbal remedies. So let's follow that ad.
Oh no.
Now, the Lost Remedies Academy, here, I'm going to reload the page just to make sure I don't miss any pop-ups.
Now, I will say that, like, getting certified as an herbalist, as, somebody who understands how to use herbal medicine, that is actually a thing.
Yes,
that is
yes,
for
it
sure
is.
a thing.
Yes, it is.
So,
and we have talked on this show about how herbalism actually is a thing because you are introducing chemicals into your body, right? Like,
yes.
And this
but I have a feeling that this is not going to do that.
Now, we've got the upsell tactic of saying that it's normally $186, but it is marked down to $39, and $39 is not that expensive. Like, I clicked on, like, there are a bunch of ads I'm not sharing, were like, but like that 3-month coven was like $333. This is $40. So
okay,
it's not an unremarkable thing. This is probably the least scammy thing I clicked on. All right.
And that's also not an unreasonable amount for a course of that type. It's just, what are the accreditations of the person teaching it?
Dr. Nicole Appelian is she's a PhD. Let's just be clear about the kind of doctor here. And she's mostly known for reality TV appearances.
Okay.
She has a real PhD.
Okay.
And so that's the good news. Appelian is her undergrad is at McGill in Canada.
Okay.
And she's got a master's degree in biology from the University of Oregon and a PhD in sustainability education and cultural anthropology from Prescott College in Arizona.
Okay.
So she's got her master's degree in biology. All right.
All right.
Now, you might be asking yourself, what do her colleagues at what do people who work at McGill University think about her?
Mm-hmm.
So I found this article on McGill's website by Jonathan Jerry in their critical thinking and pseudoscience section, an article in...
Oh, this is already getting good.
So, and this is a quote. I will link this article in the show notes.
And this is why we search people.
So it's, unlike many sellers of natural cures, Appelian does not come across as greedy. Her seed kits cost $59 US plus shipping. Not cheap, but not exorbitant. And her academy course can be accessed for a measly $39. It's easy to think of everything in this sector as simply being a profitable grift, but many people operating in the space are simply true believers trying to heal the world. That doesn't mean that the claims they make are more accurate. So it's the characterization is that we believe that unlike the other people, we've shown like pages run by people I'm confident are grifters. Nicole Appelian is not a grifter. She's just probably not right. So I'll continue reading this article. For example, Appelian states that chicory, which is part of her kit, is a pain-killing plant, rich in chicoryc acid, which she describes as a potent anti-inflammatory agent and analgesic. Given the unfolding opioid crisis, her mention of chicory as presenting as no risk of addiction is seductive. But does it even work? I searched for chicoryc acid studies on PubMed and could only find a single trial in humans of a combination of plant extracts to treat a cough, while a review article was limited to in vitro and animal studies. A similar search for chicory finally led me to a single exploration of its analgesic potential, quote-unquote, proven in mice.
boy.
Another plant in the kit is feverfew, and like for example, like in certain animals, like orange juice can stop cancer cells. That doesn't mean drinking orange juice will protect you from cancer. Another plant in the kit is feverfew, and its main health claim is in the name. It's supposed to tackle fevers, possibly through its ingredient, parthenolide. I found very little through PubMed. It has some interesting potential anti-cancer properties and mixed findings when it comes to its ability to either prevent or treat migraines. Other plants in the kit are sold as borderline cure-alls. Marshmallow is supposed to be great against Crohn's disease, which affects the gut, but also against coughs and bacteria. Meanwhile, yarrow will apparently help you with your menstrual cramps, digestive upsets, toothaches, burns, varicose veins, and will repel mosquitoes. If something's claimed to heal everything, it usually heals very little, if anything. So that is what Jonathan Jerry wrote about this specific kit at McGill. So,
oh God. And I'm looking. People who are watching the video can see I'm looking up here over my shoulder because, like this thing right here, just on the right of my screen, if anyone can see it, this is my reference shelf where I keep all of my stuff on, like folklore and gardening, and the top shelf is just crammed with books on plants, and it's botany, it's natural medicine, it's all of that stuff. So I'm just looking up there and being like, I know I have something up there where it talks about like naturopathy, it talks about the uses of these very herbs, and I'm like, okay, I know at least some of this is at least tangentially related to the plants, but not all of it, and none of them are cure-alls. Just good freaking God. Feverfew, there we go. Headaches, some research on migraines, mild anti-inflammatory and tranquilizing. Do not mix this with warfarin. Mild decongestant, mild antihistamine, may offer allergy relief. That's about it.
Yeah, it's like,
and that's Breverton's Herbal.
Yeah, it's herbalism, real, but you have to be really careful in the herbalism space because there are people who are also there's people who push things without really any scientific basis. Like when she's like talking about like willow bark and things like that, is like aspirin, like acetylsalicylic acid came from, like, a lot of the things you see on the shelf came from natural herbs, and we just commodified it. And is it good to know? It's very good to know where where those things come from. It's good to know what the naturally occurring versions of things are, but it's also important to know how those interacts with your fucking meds.
Because they are still chemicals.
You're putting it, it's, I want to do natural things. I don't want all the chemicals. Bitch, you are chemicals. We're all chemicals. Everything's chemical.
A chemistry occurs.
The only reason any of this shit works is chemicals. Your brain is working because of chemicals and electricity. That's all you are. You're chemicals and electricity.
That's all anything
in a sack of meat.
Yep.
All right. All right. Moving on to the next. So, all right, we've taken our classes here. What else do I have in here? All right, let's see. I don't know what's coming up next on my little queue. Oh, here we go. See, here's the thing. When you click through fucking ads, you get wild shit. Because now I'm getting stuff like this. This is Mindful Souls, is they're based in the Netherlands, apparently. But this is their magnetic energy talisman. It is a must-have. It's apparently made from 100% natural rainbow quartz. It will balance your chakras, clear blockages, and boost your meditation. Who needs a laxative, man? You can just put this on.
I was going to say, rainbow quartz also, no.
Just ask our 10,000 happy customers. And the image of the ad shows this truly atrocious looking thing, with a little thing saying, "Show me your best EMF blocking hack."
What the hell?
That's right. So let's find out all about this amazing product. Hey, so I pulled up the webpage, and guess what? I can grab 5% off my magnetic energy talisman if I sign up for their mailing list. No, I am not putting...
What is the price point for this thing?
I don't know yet.
Because I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm like, that's resin. Okay, that is resin.
Oh, it's worse. So this powerful talisman, so this will charge your energy and attract what you deserve. Because if you buy this, you 100% are going to get something you deserve, and that is this stupid fucking thing. No more chaos. Carry a physical symbol of your goals, dreams, and inner power. Stay energetically aligned, even when life gets chaotic. Perfect for people on a self-growth journey looking for a tangible reminder of their power. Look.
Energetically aligned. What the hell does that even mean?
And I just want to remind people that this is so ridiculous. You have two people who call themselves witches making fun of it.
Yeah.
That's how bad this is. So if you're like some weird skeptical person who for some reason made it like an hour into this podcast and doesn't and thinks it's ridiculous that people believe in witchcraft at all, that's how ridiculous. This is how far this is. This is how far beyond us this is. All right. So we got reviews. We've got Shop Now. I'm not going to click on that yet, but we're going to discover the power of magnetic energy. We're going to tap into holistic wellness with magnetic therapy has been embraced by shamans for years.
Oh, it's just getting all the bad bugs.
But
no,
it's been embraced by shamans, not for centuries, not for millennia, not since but just for years. It's like, since like 2018. I don't know, man. But you can,
since around the turn of the century,
you can elevate your spiritual journey so you can unlock a new level of meditation, manifestation, and clarity with magnetic therapy, a time-tested approach to nurturing spiritual growth. Citation needed.
Just freaking this is very clearly like AI generated, first of all. Second of all, it just feels like they fed in every buzzword they could think of and just said, throw it at a wall and see what sticks.
I'm going to say it's not necessarily AI generated. This is very new age buzzwordy talk. Like, it might be AI generated, but also the reason why AI generated text would sound like this is because a bunch of shitty new age websites already sounded like this and have for decades.
Well, I mean, there is that, yeah.
But importantly, to go back to this will help you rediscover your natural flow. I know, I know what they mean, but I hear rediscover your natural flow, and especially after being on like a bunch of these web pages after a while, that I'm like, yeah.
Jeez. Okay, so reproductive therapy. Got it.
All right. So let's find out what this is.
All right, what's it made of?
So, rope chain length, 22.04 inches. Base, magnetic sticker and copper coil.
Okay.
It's literally one of those anti-EMF stickers in there. Handmade.
Oh, hi, Penny.
Inside, metal shavings and Japanese resin.
I knew it.
It's important that the resin is Japanese. The pendant size...
Didn't they say it was rainbow quartz?
It sure did. The ad said rainbow quartz.
It's fucking plastic.
But it's a copper coil and a sticker with resin and metal shavings, and it's 1.45 inches. Hey, but it's okay. It's waterproof.
Oh, goody.
And it does say color shades can vary on all natural stones. So there might be some tiny ass rocks in there.
Stone.
There might be some tiny ass rocks mixed into the resin.
Oh, God.
It's just so ugly. Like, audio listeners, I need you to understand
it is
how ugly this thing is. But remember, they're all handmade, but they've sold 10,000. And I need you to think about that for 5 seconds because, yes, those are both probable. Well, the 10,000 might not be true, but it is possible to sell 10,000 handmade items. And the way you do that is through a sweatshop.
Yes. Where you will have one good-looking example, which you'll put on the website, and the rest will all be shitty imitations.
Yeah. So let's find out how much this costs. How much? I'm going to shop now. Gotta. Oh, so $40.
Jeez.
Or you can buy one and get a second one for 50% off.
No.
For $60. No. Bree, for $60, we could have matching magnetic energy talismans. According to this, 201 people have rated it 5 stars.
Really? Are any of them real?
No, but
where did they rate it? Where are the
real.
Reviews?
They're real somewhere in someone's heart.
Oh, jeez. And let me guess, no place to leave a review, no review listing, nothing.
Maybe you only can review it if you're magically enlightened enough.
Yeah, that's probably it. That's probably it. But also, said rainbow quartz, clearly made of resin, called it. What is that? What is that thing where it's like, it's a resin pyramid, but it's got a bunch of like chips, like stone chips and, you know, glitter and stuff in it, so people are calling it some kind of mineral. It's giving that.
I don't remember, but that sounds about right.
It starts with an O or something. It's going to drive me crazy. But yeah, I know somebody in the listenership is screaming at me right now. But yeah, it's giving.
If you know what it is, leave it as a comment on either YouTube or Spotify, because of the 2 places where we get comments. Or at me on Blue Sky, or at both of us on Tumblr.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So whatever that shit is, that is also a scam.
Maybe the Patreon people will tell me before the show goes public.
Oh, I'm sure.
All right.
I'm sure.
So, we've powered up with our magical amulets, attracting what we deserve.
We've done our courses.
We've read our books. We're all ready to be witches now. I don't even remember.
The second you talk to any real witch, like an actual witch who has done some fucking research and has some common sense, they're going to go, oh my God, you poor thing.
But that means it's time for us to go into business for ourselves.
Oh, yes, because that's the next logical step.
All right.
You know, you've been in this for 2 years.
We've
so
become a master witch. We have learned at the academy. We've gotten our 3rd degree Wiccan thing from Wicca Academy. We've got our books, our Book of Shadows, Grimoire Edition. We've got a book on the pagan holidays. We've taken our herbalism certificates. We've healed our witch wounds. We've joined our coven. We are experts at this point. We're ready to go into business, but everybody knows that the hardest thing about running a online witchcraft spiritual company is doing the grifting, is doing the social media. So what's important here...
That is actually true. The hard part is the social media,
right?
Even if you have a legitimate business.
Because building a spiritual business is hard. So modern mystic content is going to help us build they're going to sell us a course on how to we're going to pay for them to run our social media, including, it looks like, hey, they've got a photo in this book of 365 customizable mystic captions and hashtags as a book.
As a book.
That's right. The number one tool every spiritual entrepreneur needs to make money in 2025. And there's a last chance. There's a $27 flash sale that ends tonight. Okay, if you ever go to a website, guys, and there's a sale and there's a timer and there's a thing, and it's like, that is a sales pressure tactic attempting to make you buy a thing faster. Never buy anything from a website with a countdown timer.
I love how they have the random, like, news outlet logos across the top.
Yeah.
Like anyone on any of those networks would ever feature this shit. Especially Fox. Holy crap.
They've got a quick video that I have not watched. We got a quick video to learn the secret. Now, wait, I did an episode on law of attraction. I don't think that's the secret they mean. But let's find out.
Have you ever wondered how the most successful people online do it? How do the top spiritual entrepreneurs and modern mystics get to where they are today? They don't achieve their status by chance. It has nothing to do with luck or law of attraction. The truth is, they follow a precise system. That's a closely guarded...
Wait. I just want to point out, I mean, law of attraction is bullshit, but like, you mean they don't succeed by using their magic?
But what about all those things we just saw?
But I'm trying to tell you, but all right.
Work.
All right, let's keep going.
Secret. And guess what? We cracked the code, and that's what I'm so excited to share with you today. All you have to do is click one button, and you will instantly have 100% done for you and effortless social media, blog, course, website, and newsletter content for an entire year in just minutes. A little background here. When we first created this system, I gave it to a random 15-person sampling of my current client list. They were reporting back to me that they were saving tons of time and energy, seeing 54% more followers and engagement, and a 47% increase in visits to their links, websites, and profiles. And after just 14 days, 87% of them were saying that they had accomplished more in the past 2 weeks for their business than they had done in the last 6 months combined. But don't take my word for it. Look at what these people actually had to say. So now you've heard some of what it can do for you. Let's quickly talk about the secret system that makes the Modern Mystics Ultimate Content Collection different from everything else out there. Here's the deal. We've spent years studying, dissecting, and finally cracking the secret system used by social media.
This is peaking on its audio track, so I don't know how good the audio is going to come through.
Top influencers and even conducted covert operations to understand their strategies. Yes,
covert operations.
Right. One of our team members actually spent the last 8 months working undercover with one of the biggest spiritual entrepreneurs on the planet. We can't reveal who it is for legal reasons, but trust me, you see them every day on social media, and you definitely have one of their books on your shelf as we speak.
But we can't say who it is.
The true power of the system lies in its ability to generate consistent, high-quality, mystic content that resonates with your audience and almost guarantees you to stand out from the rest. We took all these insights and distilled them into a foolproof 3-step content system that guarantees your posts will not only captivate, but also go viral more often, generate more revenue, and bring in more clients. But then we took it a step further. Sure, having the secret system is great, but then I thought to myself, how can I make this foolproof? How can I make this easier, simpler, and faster to implement than anything on the market today? And that's when it hit me. What if I could also make it 100% done for you?
Done for you.
You don't have to add photos or captions or hashtags to post. You don't have to come up with written content for emails, newsletters, or blogs. You don't have to brainstorm ideas for podcasts or courses.
So you don't have to do any of the work.
So you don't actually have to do any work to make your business actually function, which is kind of the whole point of, so you're just going to like completely put it in somebody else's hands to do your shit through for you, and not have any control over your content.
Bree, if this worked so well, why wouldn't she just use it?
Yeah.
Assuming that this is not an actress.
Oh, it's definitely there is that, but also like.
So, anyways, the Ultimate Content Collection, like, I created a faceless YouTube and TikTok page for my psychic mediumship business, starring just this content every day. Like, this is, if you want to know why all of these things look the same,
because they're generated by the. Oh boy,
people like that. Like, it's okay. We are now masters of our witchcraft.
Oh gosh. You know, this is reminding me of a thing that pops into my head every so often and comes up on the podcast sometimes, where I'm like, there's all these scams out there. There's all these things I've heard on, like, true crime podcasts and all that, of, people doing these scams, doing these grifts in the, magical or spiritual or whatever communities, moving in the circles that we do. And I'm like, damn it, I'm in the wrong line of work, because these people are making millions and I'm still kind of struggling and puttering along. And then it, immediately pops up like, oh yeah, that's right. I have integrity and I actually give a shit about what I'm doing rather than just trying to get money out of people any way I can.
Yeah. It's bad.
Darn it. Sometimes having a soul is such a pain.
I know. But this is the world that people are coming up against, like, as they enter this. This is I only started clicking on these ads a week ago.
Mm-hmm. And now
that's all I get now on Facebook. That's all I get. I am deep in this world. And I think I got the first one only because of my BS, like, following some pagan groups and stuff on Facebook. So, like,
and you get it through email too. You get it, people going, they'll address you by your blog name or your blog address and be like, we can help you optimize blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, like, the course stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
Or we can manage it for you. It's like, no.
People do not know the kind of stuff that shows up in Bree and my inbox.
Every day. Every single day.
Also, pro tip, by the way, if you are sending a form email to me or Bree, we're on the same network.
Mm-hmm.
Stop
sending us the same shit.
We will see that. We will both see it, and we will both see that you just swapped out our names.
And we will laugh at you.
And we will talk about you. One freelance PR agent who has been sending things.
And clearly just going down the list and using plugin.
Yeah. I froze Firefox. That's amazing. There we go. All that garbage, I got to work again. All that garbage froze my Firefox, and I had to close that window with all my tabs open.
Wow.
Those websites were so janky. I mean, to be fair, I have 3 other Firefox windows open full of stuff. But,
To be fair. I mean, I mean, this is the way, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have at least 2 windows open or at least 6 tabs, like, what are you even doing?
Anyways. So yeah, this is, I wanted another human being to see what I'd been experiencing for the last week. It's
my sympathies.
It is remarkable that it's so frustrating that this is the world we live in. So this is and it's a reminder of why we do the random stuff that we do, and we try to make this stuff because I'm like, here's the thing, folks. I'm gonna occasionally ask you for. I'm gonna end at the end of this episode. I am going to ask you for money because I have a Patreon. And I want to eat, and I try to sell you my books. But here's the thing: if you buy my books, all you're going to get is fiction, because those books are fiction. I write novels.
Good fiction.
I think so, but this one guy on Storygraph really didn't like it.
Well, that's his problem.
Well, I think also they thought they were picking up. I try not to read reviews like that, but I was like, I glanced at the person and what they like, and I think they were looking for a romance book, which they were looking for a romance novel, which the book is not. It is not. And so I'm like, oh, you picked up a genre you hate on accident. That's what happened. Because also I looked at their other reviews for books in the genre that I write, and they were like, oh, they hated those too. Okay, yeah. You don't like the kind of book I write. Great.
Yeah, so problem exists between chair and computer. Got it.
Hey, that's all subjective. But anyways, but here's the thing. So here's the thing. There's a reason though that and I'm not okay. So we did this with Witches for Hire way back on this show a long time ago. We did a whole in-depth thing on Leah Steele, who is one of these grifters, and I've talked about grifters on this show before. But this is why, I get really, I don't believe it's unethical to sell magical services, especially tarot card readings, things like that. That is fine. That is a service you're paying for. But the reason why why so many of us get immediately paranoid when we talk about people selling magical services is because of this stuff. These people have gone out there and just made it impossible for a discerning person to most of my skills in knowing this is full of bullshit is being educated on the topic to begin with, right? Like, I can know that seeing Alex Sanders credited as the creator of Dianic Wicca is the most fucking hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life. But someone who knows nothing about the history of Wicca, this is their first introduction, is this article. They don't know anything. Yeah. How the hell would they know that was wrong? Right? Like, how would they know? So, like, we are dealing with slop, we are dealing with grifters, and, like, I knew that every single thing that I was pulling up, like, I knew the degree of its veracity as, like, the herbalism course by Apellion, like, I knew that was from a more earnest point of view, just looking at the web page, but that's why I researched and dug, because that was the first one where I was like, oh my God, it's a first name, last name, full human person with real credentials, and I found them on the internet, and like, that's why. And also, though, you'll notice that was the cheapest. I don't think the information in the course is necessarily good, but you can tell it's being done by an earnest person, like, who believes in what they're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Who actually has some, like, scientific...
Yes, actual credentials. Yeah.
She has a PhD. She went and for stuff that's actually relevant.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, like, that was the least scammy thing on here, because it wasn't a scam, it was just not worthwhile, in my opinion. So, like, but that's the difference, though, right? Like, so you go and you try to find the person behind any of this stuff, that had a real person behind it. Everything else... Well, like, to be fair, like, the Wicca Academy, I didn't go searching for the owners because they present themselves as an organization, not a single individual. They're not trying to use an individual's credibility, versus, like, that Book of Shadows was trying to create the credibility for an author who does not exist. The Wicca Academy, things like Sage, like these courses, were trying to build themselves up as an organization without using the credibility of a single person as their focus.
Right.
But, so it's like with the books, it's, like, really easy to tell that was not a good book if you are savvy to the way that, like, scams are built. But the problem is like, and this is especially true, like, inexperienced people aren't always savvy. You know, it's, there are people out there who do not know how vibes, like, they don't have the internal barometer to clock the scam. You know, like, they don't know that, oh, the countdown timer, the fake marked up costs, these user reviews, like, there are, you know, that these user reviews are not authentic. Like, even if they are real testimonials, because testimonials, you'll find, because they are controlled by the creator of the media, and it's not an automated thing. Like, people are so used to things like Amazon, where it's an automated review program, or things like Yelp, or things like that, where, like, you rate it and it goes in and nobody can take it out, right? But that's because those are, first off, third-party managed, right? Like, it's Amazon, while they do have their own brands, like Amazon Basics, is largely managing reviews for third-party products. They are a third party from the seller, and the seller has no control over what appears in those reviews. If the seller has complete control of the reviews, you cannot trust them. Because even if they're real, they have no incentive to publish anything negative. My favorite thing is actually, they're the ones who will do, like, a few fake reviews to, like, try to be authentic, but even those are fake. Like, you'll see it with, like, a static image. Like, I accidentally closed out the thing. There's one of them where if we scrolled down, there was, like, a static image of, like, review ratings, and, like, it had, like, 2 negative ones, and it dropped it down to, like, I think you'll see 4.3 a lot, and 4.8 is, like, the fake ratings on these things with, like, the charts.
Oh yeah, because the perfect review is sus.
Yeah. But even that is fake. Like, it's a static image. Like, it's not real. But, like, we have, and I definitely fear for, like, the generation of people that has grown up on smartphones and isn't good at looking at, like, the back end of this stuff. Like, I used to just fear for the older generation, but that is not the target audience for a lot of this, right? Like, this is targeting people who are younger, and
yes, and specifically, like, this is targeting people who are newer to the community, who do not have the context or the knowledge base or the discernment to look at this and go, yeah, this is not quite on the level, you know, and a lot of it, I know that it's just, you know, it's whatever, it's people just trying to like get money or whatever, but it just feels predatory.
It is predatory.
They really are just trading on people like not knowing and wanting to know and wanting to feel included. So yeah, you're right. It is predatory. It's gross, and it gives us more work to do because, you know, we're trying to unteach all this shit and also, you know, teach newer members of the community like, hey, you know, take a step back and, you know, engage that critical thinking and, you know, do a little bit of fact checking and like look for people and, you know, and that just like adds to the overwhelm. It's like, oh, now not only do I have to go looking for sources and pick things, I also now have to research to make sure it's good information. And yeah. So it's like, oh, geez, now there's all these extra steps. It's like, well, unfortunately, that's what happens when you join a community where there is not one cohesive way of doing things or like one cohesive set of leadership telling you what to do. When it's self-directed, you have to do all that yourself. And it's a pain in the ass. But, you know, in the end, it will keep you from, you know, falling for scams like this. If you learn this discernment, if you learn that critical thinking from the beginning and just take a second and not jump at the first shiny thing or get all your information from TikTok and infographics.
Yeah. But also
never trust anything from Facebook.
But also, if you walk into a witch's place and they've got degrees on the wall framed like diplomas,
no, unless those degrees are in something that is not witchcraft related.
Right.
But yeah, if you see someone that has a
bachelor
degree framed, no.
I mean, I don't have my Bachelor of Arts on the wall here, but well, I love it. Like some of these, like, oh, I wish I had like I closed, like there's actually a few that I didn't open up here. Like there were more witchcraft courses I didn't bring up, but one of them talked about being accredited, and I was like, by who?
By whom and for
like
what?
I didn't pull up that one because there was just so much stuff that I had open, but like that's
bonks.
Like they will talk about like having there was another herbalism course, and it was like you're accredited, but like by who? Like there's no government accreditation for this. And it's just like how like certain vitamins will already like advertise that they are like certified by some organization, but it's really just a company owned by the same company making the vitamins. That it's like, this is meaningless, but people see accredited by and then see a string of letters. And, but I didn't show that, like, that's not for an herbal, that is not for any of the herbalism courses I showed. I know what herbalism, the only reason I didn't show that one is because I didn't have a chance to research the letters in their accreditation. And so I didn't want, that's why I'm not saying the name of the course that I'm talking about, because on the off chance that I am inaccurate in any way, I don't want to like, get myself into legal trouble calling a company a scam, even though I'm 100% certain they are, because their countdown timer and their urgency push and like all of their fake testimonials and it was so fake. So that is the frustrating world we're in, though, right? Like this is the fucking mess. I don't know what to do about it other than just, it's why but it reminds me why I'm doing the show. I hope that if you're a new witch and you watched us mock this stuff, that maybe you picked up on some of the shit on there. Don't buy books from people without ISBNs. Don't buy books from people where you can't find out who the author is. Like if you want to find a source and it credits who did it, look up and make sure that they're an actual person.
Yes. And also, if their book doesn't have a works cited or a bibliography or further suggested reading, it is bullshit.
Yeah.
And especially if the book does not have some sort of like...
Well, you get some things like...
outside witchcraft reference to it.
Like right. I mean, there are good older books that aren't necessarily good about that. Like, it's... honestly,
more modern stuff though,
for modern stuff, that is the standard now. It should be. If it's not the standard, it should be.
It freaking should be, and especially if they only reference their own stuff. No.
Well, look, if you're saying, like, if it's a guide on, hey, I'm Bob Smith and this is Bobsian Wicca, this is how Bobsian Wiccans do it, and here's the rituals of Bobsian Wicca, it's okay that's only referencing Bobsian Wicca, right? Like, that's fine. But if you're, like, talking about history, you should have at least, like, some sort of reference, unless it's something, like, obvious, like Gerald Gardner was a man.
Yes, we learned all about what was it? Was it common knowledge stuff back in grade school that you don't have to cite, like George Washington was the first president of the United States. It's like, yes, that's basically common knowledge. But if you're getting into stuff and you're making claims about anything, you better have something to back it up.
Yeah. Yeah. So thank you. That is a hour and 40 minutes so far of talking about this, not including any intro or outro I'm doing for this episode. So thank you very much, Bree, for joining me. Remember, Grove Daughter Witchery is available on sale right now. Do you have anything else you want to promote while you're here besides that? And Hex Positive, a great podcast you can listen to also here on the Nerd and Tie podcast network at nerdandtie.com/hex, where you can listen to Bree talk about witchcraft and actually hear her. As opposed to many moments in this episode where Discord, look,
fan betrays me.
We miss Skype so much.
We do.
Discord's trying its best. I'm still working on the new workflows. But you have anything else you want to promote, Bree, while you're here?
Yeah, real quick, if you want to check out my books and buy directly from me instead of from Amazon, and also, maybe pick up some other cool little things like charms or spell kits, you can find all of that over on the Willow Wings Witch Shop, which is at hexpositive.myshopify.com. And you can also contact me there if you need to, and my inbox is always open.
Thank you so much for joining me, Bree. And now we're going to clip over to future Trey, who's going to take us out. Thank you guys for joining me for yet another month of BS-free Witchcraft. Again, reminder, if you want to get your questions in on the Q&A episode, you have to send those to me by July 11th, 2025. Go to bsfreewitchcraft.com/contact. That is bsfreewitchcraft.com/contact. And I want to thank you guys for supporting. I especially want to thank my supporters on Patreon who make this show possible. If you just sign up for $1 a month, you get access to episodes like this a whole week early, along with access to some bonus content. We're doing right now a watch along with the Pagan Invasion, this awful piece of 90s Satanic Panic era propaganda that we covered a couple episodes back. I've been doing a watch through. The first 2 episodes are up right now. By the time this episode goes public, I might have had a chance to do the 3rd episode, but at least as of when this comes out, at least the first 2 episodes of my live reactions to these episodes, it is available, and you can watch those. They're fun. Watching me lose my goddamn mind is fun. This is what people tell me. So you can get those, but again, you can get like things like this a whole week early. People at the $10 level who I need to give a shout out to now are Lindsay Dosey, Bruce Norville, Courtney, Claire Dennis, Pamela Stariak, and Eldred Gamble. They get access to not just at the $10 level, they get this shout out, they get access to my novels as they come out. The 3 novels and the first 4 volumes of Unconventional with full commentary, and at the $5 level, you get access to the novels a year after they come out. So Bloody Damn Right, the second Mia Graves book, just became available to $5 patrons. So $5 patrons do get access to the novels just on a time delay. And then $1 patrons get access to the super awesome Action Heroes role-playing game system, besides getting access to the exclusive video content. So there are benefits, and that's patreon.com/TRAEGORN, patreon.com/TRAEGORN. Also, you can follow me there. There's a free tier that just you'll get some updates about me that you wouldn't find on other social media platforms. So at least sign up for the free tier because you'll find out some stuff when it happens. Besides that, please remember we do have a community. You can join our community on Discord at nerdandtie.com/discord, or find our forums at nerdandtie.social. I know it's a quiet forum, but it's slow, but we're there, and it is independent of any other social media. So if someone else's service goes down, who cares? nerdandtie.social is still up. Because we are a part of the Nerd and Tie Podcast Network. Nerd and Tie Podcast Network, besides great witchcraft shows like BS3 Witchcraft and Hex Positive, also has a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, we just launched a new season of The Meat Grinder. The Meat Grinder is an actual play series, an anthology actual play series, where all the characters die constantly, but it's funny. It's, horror role-playing games where everyone's excited to die, and the players rotate in and out of the table as characters die and new ones are introduced. I think it's a lot of fun, and you can find more information about the Meat Grinder at nerdandtie.com/meatgrinder, and all of our shows at nerdandtie.com. Remember, if you can't afford to support the shows on Patreon, remember that you can always follow us on social media. You can follow me on Tumblr at traegorn.tumblr.com. You can follow me on Blue Sky at traegorn.bsky.social. You can follow this show on Facebook at facebook.com/bsfreewitchcraft. Please don't try to find my personal page. That's where I talk to my mom. Besides that, technically I'm still on TikTok, TRAEGORN, as long as TikTok's still there. I'm bad about updating, but yeah, I'm on all that social media stuff. Am I forgetting to say anything? I don't know. Who knows about anything anymore? With that, Magicians, happy Pride, and remember, dirt in our fingernails, brick in our hands. I'll talk to you Magicians next month, because I'll be directly answering your questions. Send me your questions. Oh boy, I've gone loopy. Good night.